Blayne, let's go to Rocky Top. The Tennessee Volunteers begin year 4 under Josh Heupel. It's Nico time in Tennessee, Blayne. We talk about offseason hype and expectations, and when you got a great quarterback like Nico returning, especially after what he did in that bowl game against Iowa, which I'm not sure if we give enough credit to that, the performance against an Iowa Hawkeyes defense that was one of the best in college football. He was wildly impressive. You look at Tennessee and their returning experience, 94th nationally. Tennessee returning 52% of their production from a season ago. 46% on the offensive side. A lot of that is probably Joe Milton, some others at the running back position, wide receiver position that they lost. But 46% offensively, 58% defensively. But again, Blayne, this is another spring camp that I have to imagine all of the attention, or at least the majority of it, of the focus, it's going to be, Tennessee fans are going to be salivating on a daily basis. They're not going to be able to get enough Nico updates when it comes to hearing about his progression and how he's fitting in, now being the official QB1 of Tennessee football.
Yeah, and that's fine. I really think that can be the case. But when you're talking about it for Tennessee, I think I'm pretty confident with Nico and what I saw. I think I know what he's going to be. I think he's going to be just fine when it comes to being able to distribute the football. I think can the wide receivers step up and be consistent around him? Okay, because at times when Joe Milton was good last year for Tennessee, the wide receivers were not. Okay, and there were some drops and things like that. Ramel Keaton had some ups and downs. He's gone out of the program now. Chris Brazzell comes in from Tulane, and I think can be an absolute dynamic playmaker for him. I really do. So I'm excited to see that in terms of Tennessee. They should have plenty on the offensive line. I know that they're looking for a little bit at tackle with Gerald Mincey, having transferred out. So what do things look like there? They did bring in Zalance Hurd from LSU, who has great potential, a 5-star guy potential, but he just hasn't played a whole lot. So we'll see on that offensive side of the ball.
You mentioned Blayne Brazzell coming over from Tulane. I'm excited to hear about the wide receiver position specifically, to continue to follow along. I know Brew McCoy is not going to participate in spring, obviously, but Squirrel White being that guy on the outside, Brew McCoy deciding to return was really big, and obviously getting him back for the fall is going to be huge. The player I'm most excited to hear about, though, believe it or not, it's not Nico. It's the running back Dylan Sampson. I thought he was a fantastic player last year, was great in that running game. Also defensively, on a side note, the front seven for Tennessee was so much fun to watch, so good. Life after Tyler Barron begins, as he was at Ole Miss, now at Louisville, who also, side note, just crushed in the transfer portal. But can they continue to be that force, that dynamic force on the defensive side? But Dylan Sampson, excited to hear about his continued progression, being RB1, being a major factor on that offense. Who's the volunteer, Blayne, that you're most excited to hear about as spring ball and Rocky Top gets going?
I want to see how Jermon McCoy from Oregon State and then Jalen McMurray from Temple, how do they come in and how do they help this secondary that lost 6 guys? It lost 6 guys either to the portal or to eligibility. Guys are gone. Danico Slaughter out of there, Brandon Turnage out of there, all these different guys that are gone from that Tennessee secondary. So I want to see some of those new guys, how they come in and how they assimilate. Got some guys that are going to be able to mix and match different places, but I want to see some of those new guys in the secondary and how they perform.